Hi, Georgia. How are you?
Hi, Rachel. I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Doing great. So to start, obviously, when you're writing something that is sharing a history that your family went through and like learning all of these things about your own family, I'm assuming your intention was not initially like, oh, this is eventually going to become a television show that people are going to watch and all that kind of stuff. So for you, what has it been like seeing your work turned into a television show and knowing that that story is going to live on screen?
Yeah, it's been a really powerful experience. I definitely went into it. In 2008, I began my research, flying around the world, interviewing relatives to try to unearth and record the family story. And truly, as the from the perspective of a family historian, the granddaughter of Addie, who Logan Lerman portrays in the show, I had no idea what format it would take. I didn't know if I would create a timeline. I didn't know if it would be a nonfiction book eventually, but and I kept the story so close for so long. So it feels wild kind of letting it go now into the world. But I have to say, the whole process from start to finish, I've been able to be a part of it from the writer's room to the production being on set and now post production. And the resounding theme from everybody, top to bottom, is just how grateful they are to have been brought this story and how their goal and their mission is to do it justice. And they've done such a beautiful job. I think everyone's kind of taken it into their hearts in a similar way that I have. And seeing that and seeing this world come to life, and then this cast who just is so phenomenal in their performances has been so surreal. It's made me feel closer in a way to my ancestors than ever.
Yeah, like I'm assuming that it has to feel weird looking at Logan Lerman being like, well, I guess it's technically my grandpa now. Like
Totally.
watching your family come to life. But is it also cathartic to see that this story like come to life in this way? Because it's different than when it's writing on paper.
Oh yeah, seeing it visually is, you don't have the luxury of backstory, of internal dialogue. You have to portray so much with the acting part of it, and it was so rewarding because I actually saw pieces that I hadn't even imagined in the book. Like the family dynamic was so real to me, watching the
Mhm.
sisters kind of bicker a little bit, and this look between Addie and his mother Nahuma, and Jacob and Bella and their romance. And it just all felt so real and relatable because the way this cast interacted and mingled, and even the between set, between takes, it was just so beautiful. They really felt like such a family. So in a way, it took this true story that I had tried my best to capture in words and kind of took it to the next level.
And one of the things I think is both horrifying and also like it's an audience perspective advantage, but for you as the writer, it also was your advantage when we see the dates kind of continue to come, especially in that first episode, and like it gets to 1939, and like me as the audience are like, well, I know what happens to Poland,
Yeah.
but they don't. For you, what was it like watching that, knowing that like when you were researching it, you already knew all the things that happened, you kind of had hindsight and knew what was going
Perspective.
on, but these characters that were your family are now living it.
We tried really hard to honor that and to tell the history as it was happening and through this very human, very personal lens. We didn't want it to feel in any way like we were looking back or sepia toned or like we were trying to teach some lesson, right? And so I think, and that was my goal in the book too. I wanted readers to be able to pick it up and feel like they were there and to connect with the characters in a way that felt memorable and real. And so yeah, it's haunting. Yeah, it's very jarring in a way. And we are lucky that we have the perspective now. But when you look back at events like the Holocaust and the statistics, they're unfathomable, right? You can't even wrap your head around it. When you see it through the lens of one real family, all of a sudden it becomes very real and very relatable. So I hope that's something people take away from it. But for me, it was very overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait for
Thank
people to get to see
you.
the show.
Thank you so much.